Hi, this is Gavin at businessautomationtips.com. This is my blog post, Order Fulfillment, Outsource or Keep In-House. When I was operating my teeth whitening business, and even now with my tea business, the question of whether to outsource order fulfillment or not has always been a big question for me. And I think a lot of other small business owners who deal with physical products will also face a similar dilemma. I'm a big advocate of outsourcing anything that doesn't add value to your core product or service, as there are plenty of other companies that specialise in secondary business activities like logistics, warehousing, and even certain marketing activities like PR. The efficiencies and comparative advantages that these companies display can often allow them to place their margin on these activities and still offer you a price that is below your cost level for performing the said activity. This same phenomena is how specialisms within national economies occur. For instance, leather from Italy, chocolate from Belgium, cigars from Cuba, etc. The principle of comparative advantage is that there exists an opportunity cost in producing other items as opposed to the one that you are most efficient in producing. So for instance, if a steel company makes its own deliveries to customers using their own truck and human resources, unless the operation is big enough to justify keeping this operation in-house, they're most likely running inefficiently. Their comparative advantages in steel production and the specialisms and efficiencies they have developed in this area mean that if they were to offload the logistical operations and focus their resources solely on the production of steel, they'll be more efficient overall and thus produce more steel. The additional steel that they produce can then be traded, and the money made from trading the additional steel will or should surpass the cost of paying the outsourced logistics company, thus making the company more profitable overall. So applying these principles to small businesses that fulfill orders in-house for customers, I'll use my previous teeth whitening business as an example. This business sold teeth whitening kits, refills and accessories online, primarily on eBay. Originally I fulfilled orders in-house as I thought this was actually more profitable. I paid an employee to take orders through PayPal and eBay, print my postage labels, package the items in envelopes, attach the labels, write out the certificate of postage, and then drive to the post office and post the items. This employer was paid £6 an hour on a part-time basis, and they spent around 15 hours a week going through this process. That's £90 a week on labour for order fulfilment. Now, looking closer into the cost of the whole process, there wasn't just the labour charge, there was the cost of the envelopes, the postage itself, the storage, and the fuel expenses provided for travel to the post office. In addition, this cost amounted to much more significant £380 per week to fulfill around 90 to 100 orders. That's around £3.80 per order. Realising this cost, I explored ways to reduce this and of course simplify the process. My first thought was outsourcing. I went to Amazon and found that they charge for storing the items and then for fulfilling them. They offer a fulfillment service. The storage charge was 30p per cubic foot for most of the year, and then 40p per cubic foot near Christmas. This covered 16 times kits, so 16 kits would cover this space and cost me 30p per cubic foot. So to store a carton of 112 kits, it would cost me £2.10 per month for the majority of the year. Now, considering I was at the time paying for a storage unit at £80 per month and holding about 6 cartons at any given time, shifting them to Amazon's warehouse would already provide me with a saving of £11 per carton for storage. To pick and pack each kit they charge £1.35 plus a weight handling charge of £1 plus 15p for every 100 grams of the pack's weight, which was around 300 grams. So in total, order fulfillment was charged at £2.80 per kit. Overall, I'd realised a saving of almost £1 per kit. Plus, I had simplified the process to the extent that this entire operation was no longer dealt with by us. I made the switch to Amazon order fulfillment services and focused my time and my employees' time on developing the product range and working on our marketing and promotion, allowing the company to grow. If you'd like to calculate how much you could save by outsourcing your order fulfillment, visit Amazon's order fulfillment pricing page for the UK, which is accessible from this blog post at businessautomationtips.com. You can get a direct link to that page from there. And if you're wondering what happened to the teeth whitening business, well, it didn't end too happily. Although we were working hard to develop the product range and the business, the local government and the General Dental Council were working against us. See, without going into too much of a rant, the General Dental Council have long wanted teeth whitening to be exclusive to dental practices so they can charge people more money for the same results. So they lobbied the governments to prevent any changes being made to the ridiculously low 0.1% legal limit on carbon peroxide content in teeth whitening products. Well, choosing to defy this commercially imposed regulation, we undoubtedly had a visit from the local Trading Standards Office. To cut a long story short, we then had to offer only 0.1% strength kits, which limited our market. And given that in America the FDA were allowing 35% plus kits to be sold, and in the UK regulations only prevented supply of anything above 0.1%, not the usage, via the internet the US began to dominate the market at the expense of UK companies, thanks to UK government imposed regulations. Whatever happened to supporting domestic trade. Anyhow, this, amongst other reasons, prompted us to sell up at a price much below what the business was worth and move away from this industry completely. So that's how the business ended. Has anyone else had a similar experience where regulations have taken the business away from you? Do you think there's too much red tape in business for businesses in the UK? I'd like to know your thoughts on that. This has been Gavin from businessautomationtips.com. This post is also accessible from our blog, so you can visit businessautomationtips.com and have a read for yourself. Until next time, bye bye.